The Smithfield House against the Cardinal. We are underway in quarterfinal number 4. Oldaney high out of the gates. Clinton with the dig. Free ball from Wagner, who went off against BYU. More on that in a minute. Oldaney gets the touch and the kill. 1-0 BYU. What can one of these teams do, not just to survive this match, but perhaps challenge UCLA? Because it feels like this tournament could be pretty chalky, but we're waiting for an upset. We're waiting for something interesting. I don't know that a 4-5 would be an upset per se by either of these squads, but tomorrow night will be interesting for one of these two teams. Cole Hauser gets the attack attempt and puts the Bick away. You've got to think the adrenaline's flowing in his first career start.
Well, and you wonder, why did Cole Hauser get his first career start? Well, last weekend against UCLA, he came in and was a huge spark for this team. A lot of energy, really carried the team in the passing lanes as well. So as he continues to bring that fight, we'll see if he can get something going offensively.
Tied from Mosier inside of the block. Popped up, kept alive. Wagner, look at Hauser keeping that alive. Mosier now off the block, 3-0. Cole Hauser with a great touch on the back row, and that's part of what the coaching staff told us is all the little touches that Cole Hauser helps you with.
Yeah, beautiful. He's so quick. He's really got that overall game, and that sets up that ability to score at a transition for Mosier.
Tyler Herget, senior setter. Porter on service Eve. McFall up by Herget. High for Oldaney. Triple block. He goes up and over and out. Stanford point. So BYU 3 for 5. And Stanford 0 for 4 right now. And just a touch long from Alex Rotman. Injured most of his career, finally finding some health this year. Brother Will was a tremendous player a couple of years ago. John Costi telling us he's starting to, quote, crack the ball. Just hit it real hard again. Here's Trent Mosier into the net. Mosier, an interesting story. First 2 years at BYU, played at Grand Canyon last year, and then they cut the program, and then he's back at BYU. Single dude when he went there, came back with his wife Austin.
That's not usually how it works, right?
His best off-season pickup ever. 4-2. That one long.
You know, Stanford, a team that hasn't played this season yet up here in Provo. You know, we talked to USC and Pepperdine, who really felt like playing here this last couple of weekends helped them adjust to the altitude and the court. We'll see if Stanford can get that adjustment on their serve especially and kind of dial that in despite not playing here this year.
Cottle tried to get that up, did not. Nate Clinton gets the kill. Cottle, by the way, talking to him pregame for a sec, I said, how much tape do you have on your hands, dude? He said, I have 5 different types of tape on my left hand.
That's,
what?
I don't know. That's about 3 types of tape too many.
In system, Gavin Chambers off of Moses Wagner. 6-3 as BYU tries to establish the middle. BYU 4 for 7 hitting out of the gates. Gavin Chambers' wife Claire Little Chambers, one of the stars of the BYU women's volleyball team. Oldaney, that in or out?
Oh, there might be a challenge.
BYU says it's an ace. They're saying out. BYU is going back like they think they have the point. Stanford just called it out. Or, excuse me, it was just indicated out. We never got an official word from Bill Forrester. Ooh, it's close. So I still don't know what the call is officially. I did see what looked like an out call. BYU never. Okay, now BYU's like, are you calling it out or what? And I don't think BYU's going to challenge it. BYU celebrated like they knew it was in the whole time. Ooh, does that grace the line?
Yeah.
It does. BYU should have challenged. 6-4. Initial confusion. What I want from the officials, though, is just what is the call, and then the other team can challenge if they want or not as that one goes down. It took a sec because James Reese didn't indicate as the line judge. He wasn't sure, so he didn't make a call. but he probably should have crossed his arms, which means, well that means interference.
That might not be his line, right?
Ah, gotcha.
Because we've got 4 linesmen, so you just get to focus in on one line.
Good call. 7-4. That one pounded on the left side. 7-5. How about the freshman Jacob Little Phillips winning the starting job as a freshman?
Right, 3 different setters. Little Phillips comes in with a lot of confidence, sets with a really good tempo on the ball, and he was the setter that won against BYU, stepping in, really moving that ball around.
Big block in the middle by Luke McFall. How Stanford are you? He was born at the Stanford Hospital. Born to be a Cardinal.
Well, and you can see that Stanford really trying to move that block around and scheme a little bit to try to switch, and so BYU doesn't know where Little Phillips is because he could be considered blocking liability.
This is a little high for Herget, catches up to it, and then Gavin Chambers gets the kill.
Stanford
net call.
in the net, missed opportunity. That's a huge one right there, as Stanford had forced that error.
And you see McFall after the block. That one goes long. Gavin Chambers serving, by the way. His wife was like 10 seats to the left of him, taking photos. She's doing an internship. And so she's probably wondering if she could have been, you know, a little closer to the hubby over there. Here's Little Phillips. Season high 52 assists against BYU on the 14th of March. Muldaney, nice swing. He's been a nice addition for BYU, one of the Grand Canyon 4 that came over, switched to opposite, and he's been pretty consistent. 14+ kills the last 4.
Well, and I think consistency is really the big surprise. A player who played outside his entire career moved to the right side, and then has been probably the most consistent Cougar on the floor night in and night out.
How about Evan Porter on the cover there? Fife on the dig. Muldaney winds up.
Good touch from Clinton.
Wow, Rodman, this is hittable. Nope, they're going to set it over from Clinton. Out of the back row, Cole Hauser. Too hot to handle for Porter, and Hauser's got a couple of kills.
And the power, and I think it's so fun. Obviously, Cole Hauser, a favorite and an energy maker when he's off the court, but on the court as well.
Look at that face.
So much energy.
10-7. Good pass from Porter. Good fall, blocked by Cottle, freshman. Oh, the roof by Cottle and Muldaney. 11-7, boys in blue.
Well, right now, Stanford just struggling offensively. Only 2 kills in this first set. So whatever BYU's doing pressure-wise, Stanford has not been able to find that rhythm and get into an offense.
Good serve by Herget at 65. Rotman blocked and then off its leg. Back-to-back, 12-7 Brigham Young.
We'll see, and within a couple plays, he was like, oh yeah, for sure.
This guy's good. His brother Trevor's on the team. Wagner blocked 3 in a row. At the net on the stuffs by the Cougars.
I think Wagner hoping that he had some cross court to hit into, but the triple block just shut that down. There was nowhere for him to go.
Staring at Y Mountain, which BYU bought a couple years ago, by the way. I didn't know you could just like buy a mountain. That's cool. Okay. They own the land where the big Y is. They light it up around graduation, so you'll see it lit up tomorrow. It's not lit up every day. It's pretty special. Alex Rotman from Santa Barbara, 6'6", redshirt junior. They honored him on senior night. Muldaney on the left side, off of hands, and that's good to go. So BYU up by 6 now in this first set. 9 kills, just 2 on 12 swings, hitting in the negative for the Cardinals.
Right, BYU hitting 500, just very solid, getting a lot of different players involved as well. For Stanford, they want to pick up the pressure behind the service line to take BYU out of that offense.
That one put down by Nate Clinton. Nate Clinton's battled some injuries this year. Super hard worker, John Costi tells us. Had a 7-match ace streak. Mechanical engineering major, as if just Stanford generally wasn't hard enough.
Well, he's just kind of a glue guy on the floor. Everyone just plays harder around him. He gets the job done and works hard all the time.
Hauser keeps it in. Wagner blocked again. That is 4 blocks for BYU already.
And you look at BYU, clearly they remember what Wagner did to them last time they played. Have we seen a shot where Moses Wagner is not hitting against a triple block? BYU is dialing in on him everywhere he is on the floor, and that's got to be so frustrating because you can't find that rhythm and flow and figure something out when you've got a triple block in front.
Wagner's 0 for 6 with 3 errors. BYU really eating him up right now. 15-9. Trevor Herget, Tyler's younger brother. Wagner blocked again. 4 errors on 7 swings. Having a hard time. 16-9. Brigham Young. So worst case scenario right now for Stanford. 3 kills, 5 errors. Wagner getting stuffed. That one's in. Trevor Herget paints the corner. 17-9, all BYU right now.
Well, on that swing, I don't think Herget meant to do that. Not much spin on the ball, a little of a spatch, but you can't ask for something better.
And if you're Clinton, you're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that is not a ball you dig.
And into the net. I would love to know the ratio of errors right after the ace.
Right.
Feels like it's 72% or something high.
Well, and you look at Stanford as a team with Moses Wagner struggling a little bit. This Stanford squad has really had a lot of injuries over the course of the season. So it's not like there's a ton of people that could come in off the bench and step in and step up.
Old Daney smashes one on the right side. He's 4 for 7. Yeah, where do you turn and what do you do differently if you're Stanford right now? Obviously, you can pass a little better to set yourself up so the BYU's not triple blocking things where it's obvious. Here's Old Daney, 18-10. Little Phillips, back to Rotman. That was in system and that was effective. Just the 4th kill of the set on 16 swings for the Cardinals.
Well, and talking to Costi prior to the match, he said we cannot be just relying on Moses Wagner. It's got to be a more diversified offense. He probably didn't expect Moses Wagner to be struggling to this extent, but to his point, it's got to be the rest of the team that steps up, get a little from the outside hitters, middles going, and behind the serve.
Overpass, Rotman was dug there. Good out of the system swing from Hauser. And that one's out, untouched. BYU gets the point. Stanford thought there was a touch there. So lots of support for John Costi in the 20 years of coming here. And even more than that, because he was an assistant for a long time prior to his turn. Stanford has won the MPSF tournament twice, 97 and 2010. They won the Natty both times. 2010 was especially special because it was on their home court at Maples Pavilion. Overpass from Porter. Mosier into the net. I think he hit his own head after that too. Or excuse me, Hauser, excuse me. 19-13.
And you could see Hauser wanted that one, right? He flew in, just really, just missed that.
Luke Morrison, the freshman oppo from Irvine.
Got a heavy, heavy ball, lefty serve.
61 on that, good pass from Hauser. Mosier kept alive, Morrison high. Free ball as Herget came down on that one. Mosier, Morrison, a lot of over passes right now. Mosier hits it out. Footwork was funky on the approach.
Well, and I think that's a missed opportunity from BYU because although that whole play was extending and Stanford was staying in it with popping the ball up, they were forced to get free balls over and over. And so BYU was on the offensive and weren't able to convert.
Perfect pass from Fife. Mosier better that time, and it goes down. 3 in a row from the Cardinal, cutting the lead to just 4 for BYU. Timeout, Cougars. Wagner and McFall and Briette, all the seniors. There are others as well. Some redshirt juniors and kind of TBD on Are they done academically? Are they coming back? But they've meant a lot to this program.
Well,
and oh, by the way, they just got a new practice facility, which is exciting.
Yeah, beautiful. But I think to your point, they've been the oldest players for a long time because there was a whole class that didn't exist. And so these seniors have been seniors leading this program since they were sophomores pretty much.
And traditionally, Stanford hasn't taken a lot of transfers in many sports. In football, they did last year a little more. We'll see if that happens with other sports as Moses Wagner gets his first kill of the night on his 8th attack as we check in with Kenzie Daly.
Coach Holmes had told his team in that timeout he really likes how they're passing right now in serve receive, especially when Stanford takes some off of their serve. They really need to capitalize it. Biggest thing is just to get the middles going. He said, hang in there, we will get you going, you will have your chance. So look to see Tyler Herget find the middles a little bit more when the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, we'll watch that. Theron Briette, great serve. Gets BYU out of system, high from Mosier off the hands. Clinton keeps it up. Porter to Rotman over the top of the triple. Hauser with the dig. Old Daney, how about Cotto popping that up? This has got to go over from Fife. Down the line from Alex Rotman, the redshirt junior from Santa Barbara. And this lead is down to 3. BYU led by 7, 19-12.
Well, and you talk about that spark. It wasn't a timeout. It was a challenge that Stanford won. And then Stanford went on a run. So talk about just win after win as you try to work your way back into this first set.
Briette, another good serve. Better pass by Fife. Cottle in the middle like Kenzie was talking about. From Sean Olmstead trying to establish the middle. BYU up by 4 with 4 to go. The freshman A.J. Cottle, a member of the MPSF all-freshman team. And by the way, among the first, second, and honorable mention, there was only one freshman there, that guy.
He has had an incredible freshman season. Made such an impact.
Little Phillips back in there. Wagner heating up, this time on the left side in this rotation.
Well, you feel you saw Wagner kind of take a breath. That's the first time he's even had space, right? He had been just triple blocked from the very beginning, and now Stanford getting other people involved is opening up the offense, allowing Wagner some court to hit into.
Ryan Duras, one of those seniors, Gilroy, California, into serve. And goes long, 22-18. Stanford hitting 136, BYU's cool off to 240. Winner gets UCLA tomorrow night in the semis. USC and Pepperdine in the other one. Those should be fantastic matches. By the way, we saw a standing float today earlier from USC's Dylan Klein.
That worked.
And also we saw a serve into the upper deck as well, which was wild. A.J. Cottle again, skying for another one.
The contact, the ability to jump, his size, his long arms, and where he contacts the ball.
Information, haven't been told privately either. 23-18.
Wow.
Ace to set up set point from Trent Mosier.
BYU had that little hiccup, but other than that, a ton of power from behind the line. Offensively, Stanford looks to head into set 2 and make some changes and feel a little more comfortable.
14th ace for Mosier, overpass on the second one. For the set, A.J. Cottle puts it away. 3 for 3. Randy Ross in for Nate Clinton at outside for Stanford. Tyler Herget, rotation 1 for BYU. Nice serve out of the gate. Little Phillips. High for Wagner, and he gets the kill. 3 for 10 now for Moses. His dad's name is Abraham. His older sister's name is Grace. His mom's name is Teresa. Is it like Mother Teresa?
They're
maybe?
Awesome.
That's cool. I like
Wonderful.
that. Thematic. Old Daney there at the last second. Mosier sets it over. Little Phillips, Rotman, slam dunk by Cottle.
Cottle using every bit of that hang time and that reach to throw down that tip attempt.
How about AJ with 5+ blocks in 7 of the last 8 matches? He's got 5 already. Oh, that bounced off the funnel. Otherwise, it's an ace. If that's in the pyramid, a lot of people say that's an ace. Old Daney's like, forget about it. You think anyone thinks I'm a loser because I go home to Starlet at night? 2-1. Oldaney's probably been the biggest surprise for BYU this year. Did not know what he would kind of bring.
Right.
Played here and there against with GCU last year. He's been a force at Oppo. Tough toss from Mosier.
Yeah, very steady, great server as well, and just that consistency that has been there every single match. Just a fantastic job.
MPSF second teamer, which I think is really nice for him. And if you said, hey, he's one of the top 15 teams in the players in the MPSF, you go, oh yeah, I'd take that. Trent Mosier on that list as well. Moses Wagner too. Cole Hauser puts it away.
And BYU really controlling that serve pass game. You see that pass up to the net, allowing Herget a lot of speed to the outside to Hauser, who had a ton of line to hit into.
He brings the juice. There's a certain energy that Cole brings too. That one goes long from Cottle. Cottle struggled a little bit in the service category. 14 errors in the last 6. And given that it's a float, you kind of go no tolerance for a miss sometimes.
I think it's tough. The serve, right, it's a closed loop activity, and you can really get a little yippy with it and in your head. And once things start going, it's tough to bring it back.
Nice serve from Luke McFall. Gavin Chambers of Secrets up the gut, the sophomore from Corona, California.
And the BYU passing lane's really handling that tough serve. And again, in system, BYU able to side out at a really high percentage.
It's had a more aggressive approach recently, fewer kind of random errors. Duras, hard swing, Hauser with the dig. Oldaney way out looking for hands. 4-4 in set 2 here.
Ryan Duras, a really big whip of an arm. My boys actually think he reminds them of Capono Brown. Just how he swings.
Speaking of Stanford, BYU.
Right, there you go. Just how he attacks and his arm swing.
And the hair, or no?
Maybe.
A little longer, maybe. Porter. Hittable for Duras. Hit down by BYU. 7th block already for the Cougars. BYU pretty good at the block, 11th in the country, 3rd in the league, but tonight they're pacing for crazy numbers. 5-4, Hauser on the serve. Rotman, little Phillips, Rotman again. High for Oldaney. What a set by Tyler Herget. What a hit by Connor Oldaney.
And again, that BYU controlling everything from that first serve, right? You serve to play defense. That sets everything else up, allows BYU to stay on the offensive.
Oldaney voted best movie quote guy on the team. We'll have to challenge that later. The kill from Calmana Carrera, the sophomore from Mission Viejo, California. His grandma, Rel's son, world-class surfer. Unfortunately passed away of breast cancer when she was 47. I asked him yesterday, did you ever kind of surf growing up? Was it the family thing? He said, I have cousins that still live in Hawaii and they do, but not so much for me. He said, I would love to learn. She was super legit, like world champ, first of her kind, kind of in Hawaii, and just, you look her up, she's amazing. So real heritage there. First female lifeguard in a certain kind of area where it was very dangerous. They were like, hey, you can handle this. Get out there. Left-handed, still up from Cottle, and Herget got hands. Point BYU. Tyler Herget doesn't have a ton of kills. That's just the 20th on the year. He's sub 100 hitting.
And
aggressive right there.
Right. He was just going high hands. Beautiful shot.
With the triple block up on the setter, how often do you see that situation? Here's Gavin Chambers. Stanford yelling out. The solo block by A.J. Cottle. Who you calling scruffy looking?
And Little Phillips doing a nice job to set the middle in system to try, or in medium system to try to get that going. But A.J. Cottle really tracking Carrera there, sticking with him and getting that block.
He's got 7 already. His season high is 11, which, by the way, was the most of any MPSF player this year against UC San Diego. Oldaney with the overpass dig. Cottle taps it down. Pancake up by Porter. Joust won by Stanford.
Yeah.
And then Cottle puts it down again. A.J. Cottle, King Midas team. He goes on his mission to Argentina. He comes back. He gets in shape. He's a starter. The timing has kind of worked out where he could get a lot of playing time this year. And he's the only freshman among the first, second, or honorable mention teams. He was honorably mentioned in the entire league. Also on the all-freshman team, of course.
And he's still really raw as far as volleyball goes. His ceiling is as high as his reach. It is amazing and exciting what he's going to look like next year, the year after, the year after.
So 12-5.
12-5 is his ceiling.
Overpass kill for Trent Mosier. 11-5. BYU up a set, 25-18 already. Carrera goes out. 4th error in the set. Stanford hitting in the negative. And BYU up 7. BYU with a different energy than they had in the 2 matches against Stanford there, as we see a setter change. So Theron Briette's going to come in to serve.
No, 2 set. He's going to be
2 set. Thank you.
Setter coming in for Jacob Little-Phillips. I think just trying to get something going. This offense hitting negative with only 2 kills in this current set. Stanford has 3 setters that they've gone with this year, which can be a benefit if you want more, right? But it also is tough to find that rhythm and consistency.
You would know because one of those is your son, Ryan. And Ryan's over there on that bench, and it's fun to have a Gant in this gym again, which is awesome. 12-6. Moses Wagner with the kill. They've got to find him to kind of get back into this a little more.
A Gant on the bench. Just, you feel comfortable being in the BYU gym.
Not the bench part. That is funny, though. My bad. 13-6. As that one goes out. What a night for Cottle, and it's barely getting going. We're like halfway there. That one goes into the net from Tyler Herget. Certainly BYU hosting should have some kind of effect on this game, obviously. When you host, magic can happen. We saw it with Pepperdine last year as a 4 seed. BYU hoping as a 5 seed they can get something going there. And you see the kind of compression collar there. It's to prevent concussions. That's what.
Yeah, it's supposed to kind of
wearing.
increase that blood flow, which makes things a little tighter inside the brain so it doesn't kind of knock against the head. And I think, especially this team this year for Stanford, they've struggled a lot for whatever reason with concussions, and that's not something you want to mess around with.
Is that Davide Gardini I see over there? Cole Hauser with the windmill swing here. Watch this.
The best part was the end, right? The slide and the looking at his team as he did it.
Davide Gardini got it clean when he did it a couple years ago on the other side for BYU. That one trickles down from McFall, which is appropriate. Yeah, the Q collar has been worn by a few athletes here and there. We've seen in the women's game, the men's game, in volleyball. Are you seeing it in kind of high school and club? Some players wearing it?
Not yet in high school. But I think concussion's definitely on everyone's mind. So if it ends up being something that works, then let's do it.
Mosier gets it out untouched. Good job by Rotman to get out of the way. Just the 2nd error in this set. Here's Alex Rotman. Spent last season and last fall recovering from an injury. It's been a long haul for him. Guess who did guess what? Is A.J. Cottle going to get a double-double tonight? He's on his way. He's got 6 kills, 7 blocks. Did you just see that, dude? with fellow freshman Max Philippe. Duras blocked. Briette back to Duras into the net. 17-9. This one getting away from the Cardinal. BYU putting the pedal down here.
Well, on the frustration level, as the Cardinal just can't seem to find that rhythm and get anything going. BYU not letting up. That pressure is relentless from behind the line.
There's Trevor Herget. We've seen some crazy stuff from him. 72, sky high. Briette has to handle this, and it goes in the middle. Free ball. Those are hard to set. Mosier, tip. Got it. Trent Mosier. 3 for 11 for him.
Have to system, because what it feels like is Stanford is just on their heels, on the defensive all the time, and they can't find a rhythm.
With McFall in system better there. Get the point, 18-10. By the way, because BYU is the road team as the 5 seed, Stanford the 4 seed, they have put up signs on the scoreboards here to make sure everyone knows, because typically home would be BYU, right? But BYU, the road team, I've not seen that before, just to make it very clear who's who there.
Well, and who made the felt? Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, some Velcro
that's
game.
Great.
As that goes into the net from Carson Kneisel. There you see Stanford, BYU. Here in the second period. What? What is this, hockey? Shout out Utah Mammoth. Nice win last night. Oh, that one just kind of caught Porter and Rotman right there. 20-10. So BYU dominating this match. Won the first set by 7. They're up by 10 now. And this kind of just bounced off both.
And
no frustration there from Porter.
Yeah, the frustration just kind of working through. You can't catch a break.
Yeah. That one crushed. Calmana Carrera. Let's check in with Kenzie.
Yeah, Jerome, obviously Stanford is very stunned right now at the performance they're seeing from themselves, and that timeout spent a lot of time trying to be motivational. Talk about that they can get back in this fight if they want it. It's trying to get their energy to be turned around and believe that they can slowly battle back point by point. So look for Stanford to try and generate some momentum here. And
we heard from John Costi talking to you, Ken. So we've got to take more risks on the serve. Moses Wagner with the nice serve. Overpass put away by Duras. 2012. Going down 0-2, not in the game plan tonight, as Gavin Chambers thunders one up the gut, 21-12.
And what has been so solid is that BYU has been able to be so side-out tough that when Stanford does get some sort of itty bit of momentum, BYU comes back with that quick side-out kill and is right back in control.
Service error, 9th for BYU. Always, hey guys, my bad. Yeah, we know. It's all good.
But I think
thanks for owning it.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen again. I got it.
Yeah, it happens. It's all good. High and off the net from Mosier. Trickle. That's a good pancake from Wagner. Rotman over the net. Fife. High and slowed. Mosier puts it off for Briette.
I mean, smart play, right? That's on top of the tape. Briette's thinking he's going to get tooled with the wipe, so pulls his hands. But Mosier, because he doesn't feel, usually the best part when you're going to tool a block is you press until you feel a block, and then you wipe it off the hands. And because he didn't feel anything, he could just do a hard tip down.
Some people are past feeling, Amy. 22-13. Rotman in system. Oh, they're going to call him into the net because the ball had not gone down yet. Rotman runs into the net after the swing, and if he gets that ball kind of clean and down, it's not a net violation because the play is over, but because it kind of hung up off the block a little bit, net violation against the Cardinal. Here's Talon Jonathan Tufunga, who has started most of the year at that second OH spot. Tickles the tape at 76. Rotman just hits it out, and it's set point BYU.
And even when Tufunga isn't in the 0-2 position, you better believe he's going to be a serving specialist. The best server on the team just brings such heat and power and consistency.
These Cougar fans on their fate. They can smell blood in the water. Set 2, set point. That one after the toss happened, never had a chance. Luke Morrison will serve for the Cardinal. Set point 2. Hauser finishes things. 6 for 9 for Cole, and BYU battle of mustaches. I go with Wagner's mustache personally.
Well, and I think BYU just going pin to pin. You know, you went to Oldani and then shooting it outside to Mosier, who finishes it off. Credit Herget just with diversifying that offense and moving it around.
It's like your portfolio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's got to be diverse.
And Tyler Herget is going to be doing that because he's going to work for Ernst & Young Accounting in D.C. So he would know about a diverse portfolio. About to get married as well. So graduating, getting married.
It's a lot.
Getting a real job. He's a real boy. 1-1. Good serve from Briette. Mosier on the right side, off the block and out for the BYU point. 2-1 Cougars. Very different BYU team from, like we were talking about, Sean Olmstead said, the energy of that week was just weird. They're playing much better. They didn't beat UCLA, but they challenged UCLA pretty well, especially on Saturday where they took the first set and they lost 2 deuce sets of the other 3.
Well, and I think just BYU finishing off the season, you know, with Pepperdine and USC and UCLA, like that level that was required was pretty high.
Oldani had that. Herget didn't know he was right there, so he dove after it. 2-2. Yeah, the end of the regular season, they just loaded up. Those 4, man, a brutal finish to the end of the season, but also the ability to help yourself and pad the resume. Right now, for me, I have UCLA, Pepperdine, and USC in the NCAA tournament field. USC being the last team in. Wagner on the right side through the block.
And that
He's hitting in the positive now.
Right, that started with a great block from Luke McFall, moving to the side, getting a touch on that swing, turning it into a free ball. But Stanford was able to transition and get the kill.
Rotman. Oldani off the block and out. Connor Oldani 7 kills to lead the match.
Right,
There's 4 dudes with 6 right there until right then. That includes AJ Cotto, your pins and AJ Cotto.
There's your diversity, right? There's so many people on this BYU squad getting it done. It's tough to know how to structure your blocking lanes.
Mosier high for Hauser, and that one's blocked. 3rd block for Stanford. 4-3 Cardinal.
Just hang time setting up there for Wagner. And can Stanford turn this into a mini run where they can get a couple points ahead and feel a little more comfortable in this 3rd set?
McFall goes out. Oldani will serve, the sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona. Brophy High School. His dad, Tony, was his coach. Mom, Renee, played volleyball at Missouri. Off the block for Wagner.
There's a little bit of a rhythm. Good pass from Duras up to the net. And Briette finding Moses Wagner, who he's been setting since they were in club. Right, that connection, just such a comfort level there.
Sarah from Wagner. He's unique compared to the other opposites in the MPSF. John Custy told us. Just kind of a quicker arm. It's like you start at the top, you go Cole Hartke and Decker, and like these are some big dudes on the outside. Wagner similarly effective as he goes into the candy cane that time. It's a different kind of oppo.
Well, and you look at the sideline, Teo Snui, who was a starter for this team all last year, much of this year, finishing up the season early due to injury. And how much are they missing him and that arm down the stretch.
Kamana Carrera, another one of the top blockers in the MPSF. Nearly a block per set, number 4 in the conference. 6-6 here in set 3. Mosier blocked and then bounced around and down. And the Cardinal have the lead.
And the one-on-one solo block from Briette to shut down Mosier. And here's Stanford just getting a few more touches to go their way.
The solo block from the senior. Third lead change of this set, 6 ties, so back and forth we go. Good serve, good pass. Mosier stuck by Briette again. How about that? 6'3" from San Jose, the senior. Theron Briette had a career-high 6 blocks against BYU last year. So there's something about playing the Cougars for him. 8-6 Cardinals. The crowd gets into it. Duras through the changeup. Oldaney block was late. Porter on it. Wagner gets eaten up by the block.
And that block came with so much power off Gavin Chambers' arm. Moses Wagner almost landed on it, which is
a little
scary. And that
kind of spooks you for a sec.
Right?
I think that's why it took a sec to
and
get
you
up.
can only do that when you hit super, super hard.
Right. I have no idea. I'm not jumping higher than the ball cover, which is pathetic. Good save by Briette. Rotman against the triple. Went high, hands go over the top. Hauser has to know in a split second, was there a touch off the block or not? Because if there's not, he shouldn't touch it. If there is, he should touch it. There was no touch on the block, but it's hard to know right away. Perhaps Cottle got it.
Right, and in that triple block, you know, when you're a middle back, you're playing so deep because really your big job is to get those balls that go off the touch.
Oh, Mosier out of system. How about that?
Well, I think surprising everyone on the floor. Where'd that go, right? There was a triple block.
Hey, just nice, easy swing, keep it in.
Oh, it wasn't sealed.
The old Tupperware swing. Tyler Herget doing the thing that makes me laugh too. Right after you know what's way. Hey guys, let's go, let's go, let's go. On to the next one.
Play,
I don't want to talk about it. I know what happened. Let's go. Look at Theron Briette looking over at the coaching staff like, no. He's after it, but out. 66, 10-9 here in set 3. We're glad you're hanging out with us. It's been an awesome day here in the Smith Fieldhouse. And there's always an indoor sunglasses guy.
He's having fun.
The old daredevil look. He's having a good time. Cottle got a touch, but it went off him and out. 11-9. This morning started with Pepperdine beating Jessup, USC beating Vanguard, UCLA beating Concordia. All in sweeps. BYU trying to add their victory to that. Stanford trying to keep the season alive here. They've got the lead here. Overpass. Duras puts it down. 12-9, largest lead of the night.
Well, and, you know, Coach Costi talked about taking chances behind the line, putting that pressure. That's exactly what his team is doing. The BYU passing lane struggling a little bit, more out of system than they'd like to be.
Sean Olmstead looks on. Rotman. BYU stares it down for a sec. Long look. Out. 12-10. H.A. Cottle get his chance at the service line. Went to BYU camps growing up. He's dreamed about being on this team, trying to play, and now he's one of the stars of this group. Mosier. Tight for Hauser. Reset. One-handed. Set by Oldaney. Briette Wagner. It's just quick and hard for the block to get over there.
Right, yeah, quick red to Wagner, utilizing his speed and his quick finish on the swing, and a terrific job again. You see with some open court, Briette able to move the ball around and get a lot of space for his hitters to hit into.
In baseball, they talk about bat speed, like his arm speed is really good. Morrison. Muldaney, this is tight, does everything he can. Amy, that ball came right to you. Set, then I hit it over to the ball boy or girl. I thought we talked about this. Next time.
I know. I'm
Amy's going on too. That was more of like the middle blocker defensively. Like I'm putting it back in play over there. Like I'm getting the ball. That's what it felt like, right?
I hope not. I hate when middles do that.
Carrera, another one. 14-11.
Well, and I think if you're going to split up a game into these 5-point mini games, right, is what Stanford really needs to do. Each one, they were the first to 10. They want to be the first to 15, and then just continue on breaking up the game 1 point at a time.
Sky high, just out as Rotman nearly spills out over the chairs. We talked about it earlier today, but talked about Micah Ma'a of UCLA made the greatest play I've ever seen. It might have been 8-10 years ago. Jumping over the chairs and saving a ball for UCLA that they got a point on. It's just unbelievable. Ma'a, kind of that #2 setter in the mix right now for the USA
incredible
team.
Athlete.
28 LA Olympics. Excited about United States hosting and what they could do in that. Coach Scribe taking over the men's team. Duras pointing at Tyler Herget like, you touched it. 15-12. Timeout on the court. If USC wins that, you can all but guarantee that they'll be in as well. And that, of course, assumes that one of those threes wins the MPSF tournament. What if a team like BYU creates it's a bid stealer, because then USC perhaps could be in jeopardy of being out. The last couple in, I have USC, UC Irvine. First two out, Lindenwood, McKendree, Ohio State, and then BYU fourth out. They don't have an at-large chance, in my opinion. Too hot to handle. Of course, the expanded NCAA tournament, 12 teams, 7 auto bids, 5 at-large. Love that we got to this spot. It's taken way too long, but here we are. UCLA is going to host the semifinals and finals. They'll have 4 pods of 3 in the regionals. Those could be regional to these teams as that one goes out. We're tied at 15. Meaning, if Penn State's the 9 seed, they still might host a higher team that has a bye in the first round but may have to go out there. So Jonathan Winder at Pepperdine saying, hey, we might have, Penn State out of the EIVA, assuming they win it. Then a MIVA team, perhaps Ball State or Loyola hosting, and then maybe two Western teams. Big block for Cottle and Herget, and that is nice reach by Rotman, because that was coming in real high for him. He ties it at 16.
Really good save, and that was a must-win point for Stanford to just maintain that level of attack that they've been able to do. You feel like it's very tenuous that things could go off the rails and BYU could go on a run.
Cottle gets his 7th. He's flirting with the triple-double. 7 kills, 8 blocks.
And Cottle wasn't exactly how he wanted, but everything's going his way tonight, so of course that ball's a kill.
He had a double-double against UCSD when he went 10 for 10. And 11 blocks. Out of the back row, Duras coming in off the bench, having an impact. 17s for Stanford, who have to have this set. They just got a new practice facility, by the way, that they share with the women's team. Shout out Kevin Hamley and his new assistant coach, Whitney Bauer, fellow BYU alum with Kevin, now with the Cardinal, connecting these two squads. Capono Brown played at Stanford, transferred to BYU. That also connected there. Thinking of Houston Heimuli, who played football at both as well. It's Trent Mosier. At Matt Houlihan, one of the assistant coaches for Stanford, has a nice mustache, but that's not the only thing cool about him. Played at Pacific, who just added men's volleyball for next season, and BYU assistant coach Devin Young left the BYU staff mid-season to put his roster together. Told me they got their 9th commitment today, so he's halfway there.
Oh.
Best selected Devin and Pacific next year. We could see them in this tournament. And it's a D1 that added volleyball again, as that one goes out from Canaiso.
Yeah, that's really great. You know, I think Pacific has such a long history of men's volleyball, and it was sad to lose the program, and just really exciting to have it come back.
Houlihan, by the way, runs the Beta Bay Club with his wife. They do a great job. Really entertaining Instagram, by the way, from Matt. Love the content as that one goes long from Trevor Herget. About to enter the red zone here.
As these two teams just trade service errors, right? Like, it's hard to keep the crowd going when you have miss-serve in a row.
So will BYU end this thing with the sweep, or will Stanford push this to 4? We're about to find out here. Cole Hauser leans back for his 7th.
And again, a great choice from Herget. You want to grade the setter, you look at the kind of space that they open up. Hauser, one-on-one block. Means a good choice from Herget, good location.
Nice serve from Muldaney. Hauser up. 5. Oh, kept alive by Hauser. Incredible. And then Duras goes long. What a save by BYU late in this set. As Sean Olmstead looks on, a couple weeks ago passed his mentor Carl McGowan for most wins with the NCAA men's volleyball team here at BYU. I say NCAA because Carl coached the club team for a long time before that. Good read by Porter to cover. Free ball. Hauser off hands. Briette, Wagner, yeah. Stanford scrapped that time to make it a 1-point set.
Well, and I think getting those touches at the net really helps Stanford being able to transition and get those points to keep this one close.
Hauser wipes it off the block. A veteran play for the senior. Season high 8 kills.
Would flip this and tie it up. That would be huge for Stanford.
I think it should. Yes. I think that's a great call.
Wow.
That's the right call. Daredevil doesn't agree.
But then the critical point is, what do you do with it, Stanford? Like, can you take this momentum and a huge point, tie it up, turn this around on the serve of Moses Wagner, get a stop right here?
Your ace leaders at the line, Moses Wagner. Moses trying to deliver his people. Herget, Muldaney, blocked in! Stanford takes the lead back.
Ryan Duras, who for most of this season was a serving sub, steps in with a critical block. What a time. And 2 big points for Stanford to go up.
What a sequence. And Duras with the block. 6 on the night for Stanford. A 3-0 scoring run into the red zone to take the lead, in BYU with the timeout. So 1 timeout left, and that challenge was massive.
That was a huge challenge. And I think it was the right call, but obviously you don't see it very often that it gets overturned like that.
If you slow it down and you look at it, it makes total sense. But yeah, you're right. It's rare that 1, it gets challenged, and 2, that it gets overturned. So there you go. It's a great call. The follow-through is the issue. He's the last one to touch it.
Yeah, that angle is probably the best one right there if you're Stanford.
And initially and historically you go, oh man, what a great play.
And it is.
And then you review and go, oh, wait a minute. And that is where technology changes that moment.
Well, and so right here, if you're BYU and you want this side out, right? You have got Chambers in the front row, Cole Hauser in the front row. Do you go with the big? Do you go with the D-ball? Because those two guys, Mosier and Oldaney, are in the back row for BYU right now.
Wagner, passable ball. Hauser, Wagner keeps it alive. Duras got hands, 23-21.
I think this is big. This is big where BYU is in their lineup, because Cole Hauser, his first start, he hasn't been that guy that gets the ball all the time down the stretch. In a two-hitter situation, you're missing Oldaney and Mosier. They should be getting a set here.
Miss into the net.
And that was huge. Moses Wagner went on a really nice run behind the line, but one more point would have been critical and really helpful for them.
Cole Hauser, senior from San Diego, Orange Coast College, transferred 2 years ago. Big swing from Carrera. Set point Stanford for the first time tonight.
You see Carrera kind of hanging in the air, waiting for that one. He hits a very high ball, tacks those corners. Very smart play.
Duras, set point Stanford. Good toss from Duras, good swing. 67. Mosier had to have it.
Duras put a really tough serve over there, but BYU handled it, and of course Trent Mosier is able to get that ball. If I'm Stanford, I may have released a little bit, because I think knowing that BYU is going to push that ball out to Mosier, put up a little tougher block.
Got the moppage, the slow down the server. Taylor Jonathan with 40 aces this year. Oh, nearly got an ace out of system. Wagner, oh, off of Hauser. Set point goes to Stanford. BYU felt like that was probably going out, and he kept it in. One set at a time, BYU trying to get one more set. Winner gets UCLA tomorrow night.
That's fun.
Don't worry about that until tomorrow.
You win, you get UCLA.
You get UCLA. Set 4 underway. Rotman out. Point BYU. Jerem Jordan, Amy Gant, Kenzie Daly, and our crew here in Provo. We've been here all day, baby, and it's been awesome. Set 4, BYU up 2-1. BYU, the road team at its own gym. Carrera dug up. Oldaney down the line past Porter. 2-0.
Really smart swing from Oldaney. Able to see that defense. Porter had kind of tucked under, thinking there may have been an off-speed shot.
Who did Oldaney look at on the bench?
Yeah,
Off the tape. Rotman to Briette. Back to Rotman, and thunders one.
And that arm swing from Rotman has been hard earned, right? He has battled a lot of injury, worked his way back. Just fantastic teammate. Found his way as a starter this season and just continued to solidify that role and get better.
Back for Oldaney, cuts it, and it's good. Connor Oldaney, first player in the match to get to 10 kills as we check in with Kenzie.
Yeah. Why did Oldaney, who did he look at on the bench? He looked at Otavio Souza and shook his finger no, because Otavio was yelling high hands, and he decided to go high line instead. So little friendly banter there.
That's fantastic.
No,
That's funny.
I guess I'll just go around it.
You know what? It worked, right? We good? Theron Briette, senior from San Jose. Dad played football at Santa Clara back when they used to have football. AJ Cottle dug for just the second time all night. 5, high and tight for Oldaney. Tried to wipe it off, kept alive by Cottle. And Mosier takes a rip. Duras trying to get the big going. You're out of sorts. Hauser tried to wipe it. Here he is again on the front row. Porter with the save. Kept alive by Wagner. Free ball, great job. Back row by Mosier, and then put down by Wagner.
Wow, longest rally so far. Look at that effort and so much momentum and energy when you get on the ground. And I think every single person on both sides was laying out for that play. Stanford takes it and gets a hard-fought point.
Moses Wagner was so pumped, he went over to the Stanford bench and got a bunch of high fives. Sometimes we all need affirmation. Cottle dug up again, tight. Mosier with a faux swing there that kind of got Stanford off their heels.
Well, I think that was a tough play if you're Briette. You don't know exactly how that ball is going to drop. How is it going to hit the net? Does he have time to jump and set it? Is it going to go over? It's millimeters. You have to make that decision.
I guess on their heels would be the proper way to describe that. There's Cottle on the service line. Briette quickly to
McFall says, I'll take it.
I got it, you guys.
Yeah, it was out of his reach, but, you know, just a little paintbrush and it falls.
He's got 4+ kills and 15 in the last 16. Sean Olmstead talking about something with Troy Grabet. Faux. And the faux set. Little Moses Malone for you. Chambers goes out. Just the second middle blocking, attacking error of the night by Fort Cardinal.
An interesting moment right here in this match. Stanford has an opportunity to really put together a string of points with the momentum.
Rodman into the BYU bench, which they will celebrate well. I think Evan Olmstead, Sean's son, who's a libero, number 20, he's like the maestro, if you will.
Clearly.
From Seinfeld.
Fantastic.
Yeah. He's got the cutoff motion down and everything.
Well, and so much energy. You know, benches lately on all teams, they do such an incredible job.
Chambers with the block. 6'5", 11 blocks for BYU tonight.
And these BYU middles working hard. Look at that read from Chambers. Using that size, didn't take much, but is able to get in front.
There's Claire Little Chambers, Kevin's wife.
I can't tell you how much she loves the Claire cam.
Oh yeah, come on.
That, please.
Let's go.
Show me every time.
Oh, another one. He got another one. More Claire Little Chambers camera.
Chambers sealing that net. 6'9", just taking up a huge space along the net.
Come on.
I think you have let's go and come on.
And come on, those are the two. Hauser saw the juiciest ribeye coming his way, and McFall was like, nah. Sorry, dude. Here's Luke McFall from Pleasanton, California. His career high in blocks is against BYU last year at 7. Is that guy with the 2 AirPods listening to the broadcast with him?
Let's
probably super delayed, let's be honest. America. Let's go, baby. By the way, this is the second, this is the top sporting event in the state of Utah. The second best is Merced playing with Inter Miami, about 30 minutes away up in Sandy.
Yeah,
so congrats to you for watching the biggest sporting event in Utah tonight. 62nd minute, scoreless on that one. Spoiler alert. Our producer's like, hey, people watching that game. That one goes out.
BYU, a good run out of that, forcing some errors on the Stanford side. Cole Hauser putting good pressure on behind the serve.
I bring up Merced because BYU assistant coach Otavio Souza lives near the Real Salt Lake practice facility. He actually went and watched Merced practice the other day.
That's awesome.
Put it in the group chat for the team. Said, hey, look, here's Merced. Connor Oldaney making it 10-7, giving him the mean mug.
He's locked in. Terrific set there from Tyler Herget. Huge opening. One-on-one.
Look at my jawline. By the way, greatest jawline in BYU history, Jimmer Fredette. Post BYU though. He is still cut. Mosier. Look at Porter there. Joust one.
Oh, here we go
by
again.
Duras. And BYU's like, let's challenge that.
I think he.
Wow. Man. 11-7. I'm surprised on that one, honestly.
I am too.
Off the net, Cottle, well played. Hittable for Olden. Wagner.
Oh, great spot from Hauser.
Oldaney rips it. Porter with the great dig. Look at this volleyball. Duras inside of the triple. BYU knew where it was going. It did not matter for Ryan Duras, a senior from Gilroy, California.
Well, and you love this kind of volleyball because it is forcing both these teams to earn every single point. You've got to be good.
Both these teams know they have to make a run in this tournament and win to go to the NCAA tournament. So it's like, can we just win this set? Can we just win this point? They're not worried about UCLA tomorrow. As Hauser flies out of the back row.
And again, A.J. Cottle holding that block. Cole Hauser needs to go to him first. A.J. Cottle, you're first.
You're in row one now. Tyler Herget serving. Up 12-8 in the fourth. Up 2-1 in the match. What a pass from Rotman. He gets it back. Mosier tries to place it to Wagner. Rotman tries to Hilaire Heno set it. Wagner pierces the block.
You saw Brianne look at Wagner like, ooh, thanks for saving that. It was a little more inside. But I like that play, right? Wagner able to use that athleticism, that length, and speed to get that kill.
What do you call a broad jump that's to the right just a touch, as opposed to forward?
Athletic.
Athletic. Paintbrush by Cottle.
And that's the tricky play when you have a very tall middle blocker like Cottle and I'm thinking SC's middles, right? That set could be a big because they jump so well. It's the same with UCLA and Cam Thorne, right? So it's tough when you are a blocker to figure out, is this a quick or is it just a really quick pick?
A lot of rhyming going on here. Dr. Seuss, man. Rotman, 13-10, fourth set. Final quarterfinal of the evening. A lot of good volleyball here today in Smith Fieldhouse. 2 semifinals tomorrow night. Join us for USC Pepperdine and UCLA versus one of these two teams. As the MPSF looks to get at least 3 bids to the 12-team NCAA tournament. Does Evan Olmstead know 6-8 time? That's my next question there. Because it's like a 1-2-3, 1-2-3 up. 14-10. McFall, Mick hits it, McWell.
His nickname's Taco.
Is it?
Yep. And I should know why. And I think you should know why. It's after some sports person. Someone can help us out.
Taco Fall.
Yeah,
there you go. He's Mick Fall, Taco Fall. Yeah. Blocked off of Oldaney, who says, hey, good set. I got to do better there. 14-12.
Stanford's got to make a run right here, right? You want to be close at that 15-point mark. Luke McFall feeling it there.
Rotman goes long. 4-4. In the regular season, it's 2. In the MPSF tournament, yes, they go with 4. They, in fact, have an R3 who's just on reviews. R2 doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, we're
7
serious.
officials. We ain't messing around here. Put down by Wagner, but still alive. 5 kept it up. Rotman. So good D from BYU, but Stanford keeping this within 2.
And terrific job again from Fife, just laying out to keep that going. Good up from Herget, and then Fife. See how low he is to the ground. He's wide in his base, and he can move forward fast. You got to be quick.
I'm from Erie, PA. You got to be quick with me. Luke Morrison into the net. Jeff Johnston asking the question on Twitter. At Jerem Jordan, if you have a question. This is a win or go home match, or do they play more if they lose? It is single elimination.
Well, and for these two especially, right? This is
season on the line.
Yeah.
Yep. No at-large chance for either of these two. Mosier gets the unreviewable swipe. They're not going to review that one, I promise. Now, if they go on a run, beat USC and maybe beat UCLA, you could move them up a little bit. Hawaii, Long Beach State, Ball State, all in the mix. Rotman. This is tight. Rotman again. Duras has done good.
Right, that's a tough one for Duras, right? He had to really find that step close, that ball coming over his head, readjust, right? It's only a two-step approach. You got to keep that ball in front of you and hit it high and hard through the triple block.
John Costi telling us, hey, he's got a big arm, spark, magic guy off the bench. He has been tonight for Stanford. They've needed him. Wagner.
I think
to the net, 18-14.
Yeah, these missed serves. You want to keep that pressure on, but Stanford just a few too many in this fourth set.
It's 5 in this set, 20 total. Trevor Herget, we've seen him fire a 76-mile-an-hour ace in here. That one a mere 52. Duras again. In system, 18-15. Winner gets UCLA. Loser goes 1-2-3 Cancun.
Well, actually, Stanford's still in school.
I know.
Mid-June, they're in their spring semester.
School. They actually go to class on both sides. Connor Aldaney with the kill. You remember I was trying to make all the Stanford BYU connections? I left off a massive one. Bear Buckmeyer.
I was thinking Buckmeyer, yeah.
Hey, bring it up next time. Call me up.
Well, no.
And his brother Tiger, both Stanford transfers now with BYU.
They're okay.
They're doing it. They're doing it.
A lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, they're awesome. Bear had an amazing freshman year at quarterback for BYU. This one goes to the 10th row. And the Cardinal chipping away, 19-16. And here comes Nate Clinton back in the match to serve.
That's serving sub. Right now, Stanford just needs to chip away at this point. BYU in great situation. All they need to do is side out to finish this off. Just keep that side out streak going.
Clinton's dad played baseball at Santa Clara, drafted by Cleveland Indians. 20 for BYU. 2016.
And Connor Aldaney leading everybody with 13 kills.
Cottle 2 blocks and 1 kill away from a double-double. Good serve by Mosier. Rotman, a block and out. 21-16, and BYU up 5 with 4 coming back. Yeah, the joke is he's going to UMass Boston. In fact, his dad Ace sent me a picture of him in a UMass Boston jersey, jokingly. There's no way he's coming back. Sorry. The people that have hope and no, sorry, have no hope in that regard. Have general hope for life. 21-16, end of set 4. Wagner.
Good touch on that block.
They're going to call that up. We'll see if BYU reviews it if they don't get the point. Cottle, 10th kill. 10 for 12.
And great defensive effort Yeah, I don't know, but good effort from Wagner. And I think BYU is really just trying to keep that serve in. They're trusting their defense and their ability to make stops.
That was a bullet,
Rewind
but out.
what I said and ignore it.
Fourth time AJ Cotto's gone 10+ kills. 22-17. Theron Briette. Over pass, set down by Rotman. Not an ace, but basically one.
And Briette, a really strong server, serves with a lot of pace, good location. And this is where he's got to make a run. Stanford needs a couple more to stay close in this fourth.
BYU has 2 timeouts. Don't need to use it right there. 2 points away for BYU. Taylor Jonathan Tafunga will come in and serve. He's got team high 40 aces. 5th in the league in aces per set. Stanford needs a crazy run to keep the season alive. BYU trying to match up with UCLA tomorrow. Porter, nice pass. Wagner.
Good touch from Muldaney to slow that down.
Hauser looking for hands, didn't get it. Hauser's been really effective out of the BIC, but those front row attacks are a little tougher when it's a little more predictable. 23-19 the score. Here's Rotman. He's got a team high 12 kills tonight. Left-handed toss, right-handed attack. Herget. Hauser down the line. Match point. He knew it before everybody else.
Terrific shot, not a lot of line.
24-19. Porter, great pass. Wagner off of Chambers. 12 kills to tie a team high for Moses Wagner. That's point 2. Luke McFall. Smith Fieldhouse on its feet. Ace! BYU just let that drop.
And can they get a pass up to the net, get that quick kill, and finish off this match?
Match point number 3. All the pressure on McFall to get this in with some pressure. This time it goes out and BYU wins 25-21. They redeem losses this year and last year in the MPSF tournament. They end Stanford's season and they advance to the semis to take on UCLA. It wasn't without a fight from the Cardinal, who finished the season 11-15.